Welcome, welcome, welcome to your Invigorate Accountability Tuesday training Q&A. This is a call that happens every week, unless there's some kind of fluke in the schedule or something like that, or holiday, or anything like that. But normally it's going to be on Tuesdays at this time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's just going to be a time where I'm going to give some tips, maybe watch some tips on. Right now the focus is on fueling your body in the right way. And I know a lot of us are learning the 21-day fixed container system. So we are learning that system right now. Hold on one second. What's up, Evelyn? Hey, girl.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. Look outside.
Hey, I'm recording, so I'm just going to mute you for now, and then we can have a little chat after. Sound good? All right.
Good.
Let me just... Gotta do that. Ooh. There we go. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Hey. So, there we go. All right. Can you guys still hear me? Good? Okay, cool. All right, so today we're going to go over, I was just saying, welcoming everyone to the Invigorate Accountability Q&A Mixer on Tuesdays. It'll be at this time. It's also going to be recorded, unless there's a fluke. It'll be recorded and posted in case you can't hop on this time. I know it's not perfect for everybody, but we work with what we got, right? So right now the focus is on learning that container system that I know a lot of us are kind of focusing on right now, learning the 21-day fixed containers. There is a really cool thing in our club membership on demand right now called the Fix It Cooking Show. And she has a couple of videos in there that kind of lay the groundwork and that foundation for using that system of training. So I want to dive right into that. Last week, we watched the first video together in there. So if you replayed that video, you got to see that. And if you have on demand, you can already go in there and look at these videos on your own. But for those of you who don't know this system yet and don't have the club membership, this is just a little sneak peek of what we are learning when we do the 21-day fix program, or really any program now comes with those containers. And that's how we're learning to learn portion control, balanced lifestyle, balanced diet. I don't like that word diet, but fueling your body in the right way. So we're going to watch this. The first one was about what the background behind the containers, why they were created, and kind of how they work, how you figure out how many of each container you get per day. And then this next one is all about setting yourself up for success by cleaning out your pantry, right? So I know for me, I mean, I don't live alone, so there's stuff in the pantry that's just going to be there. But my husband does me a huge favor by hiding the things that he knows I'm going to snack on and devour, like any kind of chocolates. Like, for instance, chocolate-covered macadamia nuts. Yeah, those got to be hidden because I will kill those babies. So anyway, but for you, even if you separate things in your pantry, maybe you can't do exactly what Autumn does, but if you can separate, for me, I separate things like the things I want to eat and kind of focus on when I open my pantry are eye level. The things that are like chips and stuff that I don't want to see are down on the bottom level. So you're setting yourself up for success the best way that you can. I know we have families, I know we have kids, I know you have hubbies and wives that maybe aren't on this journey with you right now, but you can still do the best that you can. You can buy the healthiest foods that you can, maybe ask if you can put the snacks in a different position on the shelf, or, prep your stuff and label it so you know what you're going to be eating each day. So first we're going to watch this video about the pantry cleanup, and then I'm going to show you my system of just how I use my notebook. I call it my fuel Bible, and how I write down my meals and meal times, and then I set alarms, because we had some people asking about, well, what do you mean by setting alarms? So I just want to kind of explain that and how that works for me when I'm not using it. Right now, I'm not using it. I'm way off my meal planning. Okay, so when I'm using it, it's on point, because that bell goes off, my food is prepped, and there's no guessing game. Okay, so right now I'm just going to share my screen. It's a 7-minute video. We'll watch that real quick. I'll show you my system for writing down my meals, and then we'll open up for a little Q&A. Okay, so All right. So right here, if you have the on-demand, you know to go into your Fixate cooking show. And the second video under foundational videos is the pantry raid. So we're going to open that up and just take a listen to this real quick. It's Autumn talking about how she sets up her pantry. I really like it. I want to do this, actually.
Hey, I'm Autumn Calabrese.
And I'm her brother, Bobby Calabrese.
And this is Fixate. Perfect portions, delicious food, healthy weight loss. Hey guys, welcome to Fixate Foundationals. This is Pantry Raid. I'm going to show you how to give your pantry a little bit of a health upgrade, and we're going to go over all of the essentials that you should have in there that will keep you set up for all of your food prep and to make all the delicious recipes we're making right here on Beachbody On Demand. Okay, so first of all, let's have a quick look over here. This is probably a typical American family pantry, right? There's some things in here not so great for us, but what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to give your pantry a little bit of a health upgrade. So we're going to get rid of some of the bad, we're going to replace it with some healthy, and we're going to talk about why. Come on over to the healthy side of the pantry. We're going to start with our flours. I have coconut flour, almond flour, and flaxseed. Those are basically going to replace your all-purpose white bleached flour. That bleached flour, get rid of it. All the vitamins, all the minerals are gone. Coconut flour is really high in fiber, low in carbohydrates. Flaxseed's high in omega-3s, so also a great option. Each one has a little bit different texture, so we use different ones in different recipes. Now moving on, we're going to go on to our grains. So up here I've got quinoa and rice and barley and steel-cut oats. Quinoa, one of my favorite grains, if you will, to keep on hand. We classify it as a grain, but believe it or not, it's actually a seed. And quinoa, fun fact, is one of the only grains that has 9 essential amino acids in it, which is really great. Those are all the same amino acids that you would get from a protein. Steel-cut oatmeal is also really great. I like to make sure it's organic and gluten-free. I also have popcorn. I like to make sure it's organic and non-GMO. That's really, really important in your popcorn. But what a great treat for you or for the kids when you're watching a movie. It's just a fun, easy snack, especially if you air pop it and just do it with a little olive oil and sea salt. Delicious. Okay. I always keep quinoa pasta for my son Dominic. It was a little hard to transition him off of white pasta or wheat pasta, but once I did, he doesn't even recognize the difference. He loves it. To him, it's just pasta now. So that's another great one to keep on hand for the kids. So over here, we've got some canned beans on hand, also canned tomatoes. I keep diced, I keep chunked, I keep peeled. If you're gonna make a tomato sauce or things like that, or a chili, you need those things on hand. I keep organic pumpkin puree, amazing. You can make a soup out of it. We make pumpkin energy balls out of it. You can make a healthy pumpkin pie out of it. Moving on, we're coming back this way. We're coming to our healthy fats. So coconut oil, that's the king of the oils in my book. I love coconut oil. Unrefined, unprocessed is the best. These process in your body a little bit differently than all other oils. Coconut oil is a medium chain fatty acid, so your body will actually burn it as energy instead of storing it as fat. How cool is that? I also keep a coconut spray so that whenever I'm baking or cooking, I can just dust the pan with it really fast and I'm good to go. So ghee, you might not have seen this before, but this is just clarified butter. Basically, the milk solids have been removed. So if you're lactose intolerant or you don't eat dairy, this is great to keep on hand. You use it just like you use butter. It's got a little bit different flavor though, so just be aware of that. It's a little bit more of like a nutty flavor to it, but it's delicious. Moving on to our vinegars. So I have a couple different ones: apple cider, balsamic, rice vinegar. I even have Bragg's amino acids, apple cider vinegar with the mother. That's the stuff that you see at the bottom. Don't throw that out. Those are just enzymes and healthy bacteria that are really good for your gut. New studies are showing us that hot sauces might actually help boost your metabolism a little bit. Now, you can't count on it completely to help you lose weight, but it's fun to add it to your food, spice it up a little bit, and hey, you're giving your metabolism a little boost at the same time, so that's pretty cool. Nuts and seeds. I've got almonds, I've got walnuts. You can get them raw or you can get them roasted, but very important to get them unsalted. We don't want to add a bunch of sodium into our diet just from our snacking. But these are a great grab and go. 10 of them equals 1 blue, and you got a nice healthy snack on hand. Chia seeds, I love them. You can put them on oatmeal. You can put them in a smoothie. Sometimes we use them as an egg substitute when you're baking. That's a great superfood right there. So now we're going to move on to our sweeteners. This is a big one. I cannot emphasize enough to get rid of the white processed table sugars. Just get rid of it. I could stand here and do a whole video about why it's so bad for you and give you statistics that would blow your mind. But for right now, just trust me, you want that out of your diet. But here's a great thing. You can sweeten your food with healthy, organic, all natural sweeteners. So things I keep on hand, organic raw honey, coconut sugar, organic maple syrup. I like to keep some dates or dried fruit. The coconut sugar is great. It doesn't spike your blood sugar quite like the table sugar would. So it just keeps you more even keel when you have it. Dates make a lot of great dessert recipes out of that, and some of our energy power balls are made out of the dates, so that's great. Just make sure you have a few different sweeteners that you can use. When we give you recipes, we'll usually say you can use maple syrup or you can sub in honey. We'll let you know which ones that you can be using, but they're great to have on hand. Last but not least, I've got some beans and legumes down here. We do use them again in our cooking. I like to just store everything in a glass container, but you don't have to use these. You can use any type of glass or plastic container that you have for storing food. I try to stay away from the plastic as much as I can, but all healthy, all fantastic. And these are really going to be the basic staples that you want to keep in your pantry. We don't want a bunch of this. We don't want fruit and syrup. We don't want a whole bunch of white sugar and flour and pasta. We want to replace it with our much healthier options so that we can start to enjoy delicious food that's good for our bodies. Now, I know I've listed off a bunch of ingredients. You don't have to get every single one all at one time. When you go to the grocery store, pick one flour, pick one or two grains, one oil, and eventually you will stock your pantry and you'll be all set to go. Because what do I say? Being prepared isn't half the battle, it is the battle. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for Pantry Raid. Be sure to check out those other foundational videos, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Autumn. So stop my share here and stop the video. All right, so there you have it. The Pantry Raid. Hopefully that was a little helpful to anyone that's trying to clean up their nutrition planning and get on track. Yeah, baby. Nice jacket. Woo, where'd you get that? Summit? Maybe? Nashville? Oh, we got the whole outfit on. I love it, everyone. I love it. So now I just want to share with you how so you see here I have my little, I call it my fuel Bible, all right? Right now this is what it looks like, but it's really how I do my meals, because there's an app that you could do for the 21-Day Fix program where you're kind of marking off every color as you have it during the day, but I need to take it a step further and actually plan out my week. So when I am very successful with, you know, my meal planning and consistent with it, this is what it looks like. We go to church and we go shopping on Sundays, and I'll come home, and even my husband sometimes will help me cook up, you know, some of my proteins and stuff like that if I am bulk prepping on Sundays. But I will, before even that happens, either Saturday or Sunday morning, I will sit down and make sure that I know what I'm going to get when I'm at the store. So that means I need to know what meals I'm going to have for the week. For me, it's easiest for me and the most successful if I just keep it as simple as I can. So if you are a simple person like me, you don't need a whole lot of different varieties during the day with your meals, then we're gonna get, you know, we're gonna see eye to eye with this. But it's still really simple and easy, even if you do need more variety. But I can show you what I do, and then you can kind of use what works for you. And if you need more variety, you just kind of change it up a little bit more as you need to, but you stay within your containers, okay? So let me show you again. I'm gonna share my, here we go. I will share, first I'm gonna share with you, when you get your program, even when you get just the club membership, you'll get the containers and you'll get a booklet that'll tell you, you do this little equation to figure out what your caloric target range is, okay? Once you figure all that out and you get this last number here, you take that number and you figure out which column you're in, okay? So for me, Right now I'm in the 1215. If I'm teaching a lot and training a lot, then I'm in the next category up, okay? But this shows you how many containers you have each day, okay? So I figure that out first. You got to do that first. You need to know how many of each container you have. How many greens, how many purples, how many reds, yellows, blues, orange, and how many teaspoons. Not a tablespoon. I wish it was a tablespoon. How many teaspoons, okay? Then you take that, and for me, I have my little fuel Bible, okay? So this is when I open my fuel Bible up. If I were to plan, sit down on Sunday, I figured out my caloric target. So, and then I know what column I'm in here, column number 2, right? And it gives me how many greens, purples, reds, how many of each container, okay? I also figured out how many ounces of water, so 2 to 3 liters of water a day I'm trying to drink. And then for me, this divides up into about 6 to 7 meals daily for me, okay? So, and also I like to know exactly what my workout is. So you want to be able to plan your fitness and your fuel, right? So my workout right now, I'm doing the 3-week yoga retreat, and I'm doing that currently at around 11 a.m. I like to push play. Okay, yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. It's really good for me right now. See, I'm even sitting with a foam roller behind my back, trying to roll out my back while I'm even sitting here. So then I take that, okay? So I know my containers, how many of each container, right? And I go over to my next page here, and I start to put meals together, okay? You can use the examples in your guide, meal planning guides. There's some examples of meals there. You can use Pinterest for examples for meals, but I just use the list, and we'll go through the list on another call. But for each color, there's a list of what can go in that container, okay? So I take that list, and I take how many in each container, and I just start to put together my meals using that container. As you can see here, I have my meal times, 5, 8, 11, 2, 5, and 8, okay? Those are my 6 meals during the day, my meal times. I like to keep them evenly spaced, so I'm keeping my metabolism up. I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours, and I need to, of course, keep track of when I'm teaching classes and stuff like that, so I don't have a meal planned when I'm teaching or in the middle of the coach call or something like that. So sit down, plan out the times, plan out each meal. Make sure then you see over here in this column here, I have what colors that is for each of those meal times, okay? So then I make sure that I've covered each of these. So I go down this list and I have 4 greens. I go down this list and I have 3 purples. So it's all covered. I make sure that each color, I've gotten each color in during the day, and I know what I'm having exactly for each meal, so I can prep it either that morning, or for me, I like to do the night before, okay? So then, so you've seen that, okay? I'm gonna show my share. So then I take that information, and I take out my phone, and I set alarms. So if you know how to set alarms on your phone, or your iPad, or your whatever device you use that's with you like almost all day, use the alarm system on that device and set your meal times. Set alarms for your meal times. So again, for me, that was 5 a.m., 8, 11, 2, 5, and 8. My meals are already prepped. So guess what? At 5 a.m., that's when I get up, my alarm goes off, and I even have like, okay, meal number 1 is what I gave the title for that alarm, or fuel number 1, fuel number 2, fuel number 3, Shako, whatever, you know? So I set those alarms, and they're set for Monday through Friday, all right? So on Saturday, Sunday, I get to just practice, see if my body just recognizes when I need to fuel, see if I can do it on my own, and so I'm kind of like giving myself that little bit of breather time on the weekends, so I don't have to keep those alarms going during the weekend. So Monday through Friday, I keep the alarms going. Saturday, Sunday, they're off, okay? But try it. See if that works for you. Set the alarm for when your workout time is. Set the alarms for when you're supposed to be fueling your body. And keep going with that system until it becomes a system, until it becomes a habit, okay? And then also, you can start getting more creative with your meals too, as you get more comfortable with how to prep and plan. All right. So I'm going to just open this. I'm going to stop the call, and then we're going to open it up for a little bit of Q&A. If you listen to this and you have questions, please, please, please ask me or your sponsored coach. Would love to help you get started with this. If you're not already using those containers, and if you do not have a system to fuel your body in a healthy, balanced way, please reach out to me or your sponsored coach, and let's get you started, okay? Every Tuesday, we are here to keep you invigorated and inspired and help you find life balance. That is what we're here for, that accountability. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.